Mega refers to being able to do something more than normal. Roth IRAs have limits. Charitable deductions have limits. All of a sudden, here in 2021, we have the ability to do mega Roths and mega QCDs. We're going to cover them on Consider This Program today. Good morning and welcome to Consider This Program. I am your host, Joe Clark.
I'm Grant Soliven.
Man, I'm excited about this topic. If you haven't seen it, I do believe my group at Ed Slott was the one who deemed it and titled it. It's a concept called Mega Roth IRAs. We were able to use stuff that came out of the tax code from 2016 and some other things that are in there. Again, very, very white, not even gray at all, about the ability to have a super funded Roth IRA. Grant's going to talk about that in a moment. There is also, and this one is going to run out, you've got about another 30 days to do it, a mega QCD qualified charitable distribution. The rules have changed, but for 1 year. 30 days from today, it is over. So Grant, tell us what a mega Roth IRA is.
Absolutely. And actually, I'm going to start off, Joe, by saying going, gone, maybe.
Maybe. There you go.
And as we're watching football, at the time of this recording, we're not talking about those wide receivers that are running down the line at 80 yards. So when it comes to mega and a mega Roth, what we want you to understand is that when doing contributions, so remember there's two C's to Roth, contribution and conversion. And contribution, if you're not phased out by income in an IRA, then you can actually put together $6,000 of money and put it in a Roth IRA if you're under 50, and $7,000, you get an extra $1,000 to catch up if you're over 50. And essentially that's per person, and then you cap out at your contribution rate in a Roth IRA. Now, when we look at this and you go, Grant, mega, help me out. Help me understand this. Well, how am I going to get a mega then if the IRS already limits my contribution? Well, there's something called after-tax dollars. It's not something in the industry we often talk about. It was really the code that was in place
pre-1986.
Pre-1986 and before Roth, even being thought of. And essentially what you do is you put money in this after-tax bucket. You're already taxed on these contributions. You couldn't pay tax on them again. And then they kind of just sat there and didn't do a whole lot. And all the gain was put in a tax-deferred bucket, so really not a great strategy for families. So we thought, what do we do with these dollars? What happens with them? What can we do? And in the tax code, we were able to take these dollars and then essentially roll them or push them into the Roth IRA buckets because you already pay tax on them. And as a way to actually add contributions over the $6,000 or $7,000 in a Roth IRA. It's a beautiful thing. And unfortunately, it's under attack.
It is, and there's a lot of things in the tax code that are going to be under attack. And I will always take you back to December 17th of 2017. At 5:30 on a Friday night, the tax return the tax package was passed. December 22nd, the president signed it. I believe that was a Tuesday, if I'm thinking back correctly. The point is that a lot of people believed there were things that were in that bill that never actually made it to the bill that got passed. Nobody really wants to read the document. Myself, Ben Smith at eStep, a few other people that we deal with at some of our accounting firms actually read the code over the weekend and were able to help people look at it correctly. Many people made mistakes because they presumed what was in the bill was not in the bill. Folks, the Mega Roth may or may not make it. They've got to make major changes to get it pulled in and pulled out. But in all fairness, based on your income, this could be one of the last years that you're able to contribute to that. It is not gray at all. This is purely in the white. The tax code is very, very, very much there, but they are trying to limit the amount of money that you can put into Roths based on a certain income level.
Correct.
And so this is one of the things that I pointed out to the planning team and will continue to point out. Every now and then I have somebody say, Joe, I don't want to put money in a Roth because my tax rate is so high. And I try to explain to people the higher your tax rate today, if you're married to that bracket, meaning your standard of living is going to require that, or your passive income when you retire is going to put you in that marginal rate, you still want to consider doing Roth conversions. I have been very, very blessed. I'm the managing partner of the firm, and I put all of my 401k contribution that I can inside of the Roth IRA. Well, guess what? One of the things that the IRS is saying right now is I may not be able to do that anymore. There may not be a backdoor Roth IRA anymore. There may not be a mega Roth anymore. So we do have to be able to pay attention to what they're attacking, even if they don't get it done, and understand that the changes are there on the table.
100%. And so we have to talk about, so who's a strategy for? And it's for those individuals that are in the middle to upper income tax brackets and they've maxed out their Roth IRA. And you go about doing this through what's a qualified plan, a 401k plan at work. Now, again, here's the caveat. Oftentimes, 401k plan documents do not allow for after-tax dollars because they've amended all of their documents through amendment acts in the Department of Labor space. So, it's been a while since 1986. In fact, it was the year I was born. So they've made amendments in the plans. So oftentimes, some retirement plans don't have after-tax dollars. But if you're one of those magical plans that do, or you own a business and you and your spouse are the only owners and you have a solo 401k plan, or you have a 401k plan for a side business, this may be the absolute best opportunity to enact this because you can essentially put, ready for this? You can put dollars from the company in the after-tax bucket. You still have the contributions that you've made in your employee section of the plan. You've fully funded your Roth IRA, and there's this cute little thing called a 415 limit. Now, don't try to understand what that is. It just means you can put more in the 401k than the $26,000 if you're over 50. And that difference, if it's in an after-tax bucket, so if you're doing the math right now, and you know that in the 415 limit's $58,000 at the time of this recording, you can see there's a nice big chunk of difference between your employee contribution and the top of the 415 limit that gets rolled into that Roth.
And keep in mind, no, you're not going to get a deduction for that extra amount of money, but it's money that's going to grow tax-free for the rest of your life. People who don't do this, that have the opportunity to do it, either don't have proper advisors or just don't get around to it, and you're just being lazy. Folks, you work too hard to save and accumulate this money. And what Grant said, a solo plan is any company where the only employee is either you or your spouse. Can't even be your kids, right? It's you or your spouse. They're economical to set up, and you just have the ability to funnel money in. No, you don't get a deduction today, but think about it. It grows tax-free forever. Short of littering, don't litter. I don't like that. I still see the Indian, the tears, the canoe. Don't litter. But short of that, there is nothing that really hurts me more when somebody comes in and has a brokerage account and money is sitting in it and they have no Roth IRA, they have no Roth 401k because nobody has shown them how to properly use the tax code to prepare for a better financial journey. Folks, your 1040 is a one-hit wonder. Ain't no way around it. Right? You're going to pay taxes based on the story you present this year. But how you're going to pay taxes over the remainder of your financial journey is based on decisions that you make this year, next year, and every year. And if you do not have a cascading concept of here's our strategy for taxes, if I walked into the Financial Enhancement Group with 37 people on our team, and more than 1,000 families that we take care of. If I walked in and said, hey, by the way, we have no financial strategy, we're not going to pay attention to a budget, we're going to get rid of the 401k, we're not going to worry about HR, we're going to play it willy-nilly, you would just say, Joe, that's really ridiculous. That's stupid. And yet what I see many times is people do that with their own financial journey. They get caught up into the 1040 without paying attention to the impact that is going to have on their financial life forever. And even if it's not your forever, it is your heirs forever, right? So we really have to have this strategy. Real quickly, we got to hit the Mega QCD.
Yes. So quickly on that, I don't want there to be confusion with Mega QCD. With a qualified tradable distribution, as many of us know, it comes out of your IRA. So when those of us that are age 70 and a half or age 72 or older, you can do a qualified tradable distribution up to $100,000 from that qualified money.
Mm-hmm. Has to go straight to the charity.
Correct.
Has to come from an IRA, and you have to be 70 and a half or over.
Correct. Now, don't get confused in the language. What we're talking about with the Mega QCD is that if you remember back in 2020, we had this little thing called COVID, right? And there was a COVID-related tax act that passed that essentially allowed us to gift 100% of cash deductions from our 1040. Now, some people go, oh, well, why do I care? Well, it was 60 prior to that. And what they did was they extended that from 2020 into 2021. So this one is going on at the end of this year, Joe, meaning if you are charitably inclined or your tax situation, you have assets or cash that we can really use to navigate and affect your 1040, and you want to give it to charities, you can use your QCD, and we can give up to 100% of your adjusted gross income in cash gifts to a charity that may need it, especially with COVID.
So there's a few things to understand here, and one of the dangers is using the word QCD in it.
Correct.
This is a slot concept that we created. I wish we would have had a different name, but he already named it before he asked. So in this case, you have to be 59 and a half or older. 59 and a half. And the IRS does have computers. Don't mess around with 55 and a quarter, 55 and 4, 55 and 59 and a half, right? As opposed to 70 and a half with the QCD. It can come out of a company plan. So you can take it out of your 401k. You can take it out of an IRA. You can take it out of a 403b. It can come out of a company plan, right? Which a normal QCD cannot. It has to come out of an IRA for it to be a QCD. And it's unlimited. Now, you need to understand all of the income is recognizable as taxable, but is also fully deductible as a charitable gift. So you really have to have somebody run the numbers to it to see whether this makes sense. But if you've made a commitment to your church for the next 4 years or 5 years for a building project or something like that, this may be a time where you can say, hey, we really stretched, honey, to come up with an extra $5,000 a month to help with a building project. We can take money out of the 401k and get it all out at once. Now, yes, you lose the future growth. You lose all of that. This is not going to be a happy day for some people in the conversation, and it's certainly not a right tool for everyone. But here is one of the things that this illustrates, folks. The tax code often gives us opportunities that they change and they close over a period of time, right? The Roth recharacterization that we helped create more than $100 million worth of Roth tax-free money for our families is gone. The way we used it, that strategy is gone. Our ability to maybe do backdoor Roth IRAs and mega Roth IRAs is gone. Our ability to do some of the required minimum distribution, some of the strategies there have been adjusted as the age went longer. The stretch IRA, gone. Folks, you really have to get on top of this, understand it. Go to yourlifeafterwork.com, get signed up for your Next Steps meeting. Give us a call at 800-928-4001.